Nabambo has reached the kill, but her daughter is there first. Even though females hunt together, rivalry for the prey is fierce. The big lioness begins the trek back for her cubs, but the youngsters have heard her call and they meet halfway. Nabambo settles herself in the long grass. The cubs are unfamiliar with her behaviour. A female will usually head the charge with any kill, splitting the hide of the victim and leading the way for the pride to eat. But there is human scent around the giraffe, and the big lioness is cautious. She watches her cubs, hidden, alert to any potential threat. The cubs are curious, confused by this new smell. The lioness moves in for a final check, but she has already made up her mind. The carcass is tainted. There are foreign traces, a dangerous ambience. Instinct tells her this is not food fit for her cubs. Disappointed, Nabambo moves away, the scent of another night stalk already in the wind. After 2 days, Jabu has returned to his kill with another younger male. 3-year-old Tembi is a son from a previous liaison with Nabambo, and the two paired up after Tembi was ousted from the pride. Pride males are lazy and will gladly let the females track down prey. But the theory that males won't hunt is a fallacy. Any hungry male will hunt for himself when no free lunch is provided by the lioness, hyenas or other predators. Smaller creatures scatter in the vicinity of the two lions. There will be no hunting for a while. Bloated after the zebra kill, both males will sleep for the next day, oblivious of their surroundings. Lions hunting in pairs or groups have a success rate of around 30% in daylight, but studies show single hunters are more successful at night. Lions are sociable cats, the only group to take part in communal hunts. Ambush is an important part of the lion's strategy. Often one pride female will round up the prey from the front, driving it towards a second lioness. As in most cases, the pride male will only get involved if he has to. Accidents involving humans are rare in southern Africa's game reserves. Our primal fear of being eaten has been well documented, but in fact, lions seldom attack if they're not provoked. At Phinda, great care is taken to limit the number of people viewing game. Emphasis is placed on causing the animal as little stress as possible.
Man isn't a part of their natural food source. They don't normally go out and hunt people. I think your lions are opportunists though, and I certainly think that if your lion is very hungry, under stress, I don't think they'll necessarily go out to hunt you down, but if you interfere with them, they'll certainly kill you. And there's a good chance they might eat you at the same time. With all animals, it's how you treat them is what's the reaction you're going to get back from them. Certainly at Phinda, all our guides go through a training course and they're all brought up to a certain standard. There is a certain operating ethic with regards to viewing animals, and we certainly try and be as sensitive to the animals as possible.
Cradled within the arms of the Ubomba Mountains and the Indian Ocean, Phinda covers one of the most diverse regions of Africa. Here are found 7 different ecosystems, from palm savanna and bushveld to rare sand forest and dense thorn bush, all restored from the pastoral belt which had swept down the east coast. Where cotton, pineapple and cattle farms once stood, lion now roam their habitat again, alongside some traditional neighbours. Phinda sees its responsibility to the region extending beyond restoration of habitat and wildlife. It provides schools and a clinic for the local Zulu community, as well as employment. In the eyes of Andrew Lewis, essential ingredients for a successful operation.
It's very important to involve the communities around your reserve because they have to benefit as well. There's no point in just taking land, get some investors to invest in it, but if you don't allow the people who are on the periphery of that reserve to benefit from it, you're going to have an immense problem with poaching, and they're going to cut your fences down, and you're just going to have an uphill battle.
In 1992, the Phinda lions were among the first of the big 5 animals to be relocated to the reserve. The original pride came from the northern province of South Africa, a vast scrubby region flanked by the ragged Drakensberg Mountains near the Mozambique border. Peter Rogers helped round up Phinda's first pride, handling the lion's capture and subsequent move south. Today, he's head vet at the Hoedspruit Research and Breeding Centre for Endangered Species, overseeing its cheetah breeding program. But it's the discovery of what's believed to be a long-extinct strain of lion that has put Peter's centre on the map.
We were involved in the rescue of these circus animals that came down through Africa and were abandoned in Maputo. We were just founded by an animal welfare group called Animal Defenders based in London, and they said, could we just keep these animals temporary? First they mentioned tigers,
and then they came back and settled with 6 lions as well. So we said, yeah, we could hold them temporarily just until they found permanent homes for them, but basically get them out of that predicament that they were and the shocking conditions that they were in Maputo and Mozambique.
When the lions arrived at the breeding centre, their size, pale colouring, and the male's thick black belly mane put them into the category of the Cape or Barbary lion, not seen in the wild since the early 1920s. A few still exist in captivity, and a male and female were brought to South Africa from an Italian zoo for breeding purposes. But attempts to mate Akef, the big male from the ill-fated Mozambique circus, with the Italian female are proving difficult. Akef is overprotective, even preventing the lioness from eating when the meat truck arrives. Finally though, Sisi makes her breakthrough.
We'll see you up in the front there, Mark. You're going to go to that sort of middle central area. Where are you going to go?
In the next enclosure, Arturo, the Italian Barbary male, is about to be sedated. His attention to his sister Sisi through the fence is hampering mating efforts, and Peter Rogers is keen to move the big male. He shoots the dart into Arturo's rump. Arturo has been sterilized, but while his breeding days are finished, he'll live out his days at the centre.
1.5 minutes now, so...
His female companion, another Barbary from the Mozambique circus, is drawn away by the meat truck. It's 20 minutes before the anaesthetic takes effect.
To be the supervisor. Slowly. You need all your help at the bottom just to put him back into the cage, okay? One, two, three. Yeah.
The anaesthetic gives Peter Rogers and his team a chance to check over the 12-year-old lion. He'll spend a few weeks in this cage before being returned to his enclosure for observation.
I still want to inject him with everything, Mark. It's very exciting to be part of this project because they feel that there are perhaps not many Barbaries, if any, that are really pure, that are left even in captivity. They feel that over time other animals from other genetic bases are brought in. So there's a big project afoot, Oxford University, to do the genetics. So that's just getting off the ground now. Okay. We just put under the skin and the neck if we can find the skin under this big Wildebeest. Normally lions wouldn't have this many ticks, but being from Italy, the European lion, he doesn't have that innate or inherent resistance to ticks. It does come with time. Like a bit of a bit like this. What we can do is put him in there and roll him over inside there. Immediate term now is to get these ones to breed. And we'll take it day by day from there and see how it goes. But the prime object initially was just to get these animals back into good health, and it's developed into something a lot bigger. It's a deadline. Yeah.
While the breeding centre's lions are healthy, It's not the case a few kilometres away in the Kruger National Park, where TB has ravaged half the population. Infected buffalo have been blamed for the outbreak, primarily in the south of the park, and attempts are being made to fence off the diseased area.